Hey guys, welcome to Fritters Game Shrine. I just want to start by saying thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. And to celebrate, we got quite a long video today, but sit back, relax, maybe grab some popcorn, and let's get right into my first official game room tour. I hope you all enjoy. Well, this is it. It's finally here. People have been asking for a formal game room tour, and thanks to us hitting 1,000 subscribers on the channel, I thought I'd indulge and entertain you guys with a little game room tour. So let's get right into it. We're going to break this down by going over walls. Wall 1, Wall 2, Wall 3, and Wall 4. And just so you know, I am not clickbaiting in that thumbnail. There is roughly $100,000 in this room. Is there actually $100,000 in this room? Kinda. You know, I'm 5'10" in real life, but you might as well round that up to 5'11". And at that point, you're 6 foot, which is the logic I'm using here. So yeah, $100,000 game room. Some people may ask, Fritter, how does a 27-year-old who is not a boomer, like most collectors are, no offense, that's just how it is, how do you amass a collection of 3,300 games? Well, I sure as shit didn't spend $100,000 on this, let me tell you. It all started with this, the yellowed, cracked Super Nintendo I got when I was 12 years old, 15 years ago. And it's done me well since. Hasn't given me any problems. And it's all thanks to this guy. He is the reason I'm addicted to spending money on plastic. Basically, I've told the story on the channel before, but I showed my mom an episode of Angry Video Game Nerd, and she was so intrigued that she bought me my first retro game console at the time, along with a handful of games. And from that one birthday where I got a Super Nintendo, I was hooked. When I was a kid, I used to have to sell every game I got if I wanted a new one. That meant I never owned a PSP and a DS at the same time. I had to pick, which is pretty standard. I feel like all kids have to do that. They have to sell their games to GameStop if they want anything new. Well, I guess I was sick and tired of selling shit because I haven't sold a game since probably 2020. So we're looking at about 6 years now. And the only reason I sold in 2020 is because Rule of Rose just so happened to be fucking expensive as shit. And I only spent like $200 or $300 on that game, and I was gonna make a big profit if I took advantage of the market. But nowadays I don't sell anything. But I also don't just buy anything either, which is a lie because I do have a lot of Wii shovelware, but you know, everybody has Wii shovelware that they don't want to admit they have. Like Jerry Rice and Nidus's dog football. But like I said before, let's go by wall. Here is wall number 1. If you haven't noticed, I like TVs. Wall number 1 is what has basically my two main TVs that I play on. We have the big Sony Trinitron Wega, and we have a 4K Samsung TV, flat screen, which is actually going to get replaced soon because it's kind of a piece of shit. But yeah, this is where all my consoles are hooked up that I mainly use. Stuff like the PS5, the Xbox Series X. I have the Switch hooked up there, the Wii U that I only use for like 2 games, a 360, a PS3 that is backwards compatible, a PS4 that I will inevitably get hooked up with VR, but as of right now, I lost my dongle, so I have to buy a new one. One of the coolest things about this little setup I have right here is this big ass switcher box. Now, I don't remember what fucking listing I found this on or how I found it, but it's a Mount Vicky 8-in-1 HDMI switcher. And when you have as many consoles hooked up to one TV as I do, you need a big ass switcher. And I have them all labeled and everything, double D style. So that thing's a godsend, especially since one of the HDMI ports on this piece of shit failed. So I basically have to exclusively rely on this thing. We got a couple of knickknacks here. I will say my game room is definitely function over form. So I have way less like random shit, like figures and stuff than other collectors do. Mostly because that's just not what I'm into. I mean, yeah, I'll get a Link, I'll get a Pip-Boy. This is actually a controller, it's not even a fucking figure. A couple plushies I've acquired over the years, nothing crazy. Pop figures, you know, everybody has pop figures. games. And then some books, the Hyrule Historia, the Zelda Encyclopedia, and the Arts and Artifacts book. I'm missing a couple of them, but you know, they're like Breath of the Wild themed, and I don't really care. I keep controllers right there just because I use them the most. This is pretty cool. I don't really want to pull it out, but essentially a clothing brand called Drop Dead did a limited edition Sonic collab, and this is the box it came in. I think it's really cool. I just kind of put it up. I do like Sonic. I'm not the biggest Sonic guy, but you wouldn't know that from the game room because I got a lot of Sonic shit around. But I mean, I like Sonic, you know, not as much as this guy, but I like him. Fallout stuff too. I love Fallout stuff. Like this is the Pip-Boy from the Fallout 4 collector's edition thing. Some steel books. This is actually the fucking syringe that you got from Dave's Hot Chicken. I went to Dave's Hot Chicken literally only to get this. And I was like, yep, I'm getting chicken a day because I want the fucking Fallout stim pack. How degenerate is that? This Majora's Mask lights up, but I don't feel like turning it on right now. This is my favorite Pokemon of all time, if you wanted to know. Elekid. Look how cool he is with the plug head. You really can't beat Elekid. And Electabuzz too, he's cool. I have the limited edition Dragon Quest Slime PS Vita that was Japan only. And this thing is pretty neat. It's all sparkly and shiny and silver. And what's funny about the Japanese Vita is I had to get used to the fact that circle is actually confirm and not back. So that's definitely weird, but you can mod that out, which is what I inevitably did. Here's a kind of neat thing down here, just passing right over the Death Stranding PS4 Pro, whatever. Oh my God, this thing is dusty. It's dusty. This is an old vintage NES cartridge holder. I don't really know how or where I got this. I think I got it from a buddy. He just gave it to me. I think it's really cool. I don't store anything in there, just like this random PS2 controller. I don't store anything in there, mostly because I like putting games on the shelf where I can see them. We can move over to the CRT now. This is a Sony Trinitron Wega, which is, I don't really know what all this shit means, but it's good. It's like the cream of the crop when it comes to these fucking big ass CRTs. This thing is like 300 pounds. And yes, I can lift it on my own, but it takes a lot of effort. I just have a bunch of random shit, just like I was trying to find a spot for this. I can't. I want to display them because they're such cool boxes, but I legit have no space to display boxes. Here's some games. The games I'm like currently playing that are in the consoles are just sitting right here. So I have Sonic Heroes, Zelda Collector's Edition, Saturn Bomberman, which is great, by the way. If you haven't played this game, really give it a shot. It's really fucking good. But yeah, my game room is mostly focused on games. I don't have a lot of knickknacks per se, like I said. I don't have a lot of console variants, maybe just one extra console, but I have basically one of each console, with an extra here or there at a necessity, not because I just want it. For instance, the reason I have two PS4s is because I had a PS4 in the living room and a PS4 in the game room. Now, with PS5s, I have a PS5 in here, and I have a PS5 in my living room. Same thing with the 360s. I have a 360 here, 360 there. If I want to play 360 games on the CRT, I can. If I want to play them on the flat screen, I can. But yeah, this is where I do all my CRT gaming. I can, you know, sit in the recliner. I can recline out, play some fucking Metal Gear. We have a Super Nintendo, a Wii, a Japanese Sega Saturn, an R2-D2 Xbox 360, a PS3 Slim, my OG fat PS2 that I use all the time, an original Xbox, and this Blu-ray player. This also needs to be dusted. What the fuck? For when I want to not play video games, which is not very often, to be honest. We have a poster for the greatest movie ever made. That's an objective fact. Don't try to argue with me in the comments. Or do, give me engagement, please. But yeah, I love Big Lebowski. It's my favorite fucking movie. Real ones know what's in this room, but I won't tell you guys on YouTube, that's for sure. Secret. Totally off limits. I will say though, I keep my DDR pads in there. So yeah, that's basically wall one. We also have that coffee table, which is really nice. Whoa! I can basically use this as a desk. A couple extra controllers, a coffee table book, some cards, my label printer, Donkey Kong bongos. I don't really know where else to put those. But yeah, that was basically wall one. And there's no games on this wall. So now we're getting into the juicy stuff with wall number two. Wall number two is gonna be, you know, short and sweet. Basically, we have a little TV right here, a little Toshiba. It's supposed to be able to read DVDs, but this shit don't work. But I will say NES games look fantastic on this TV. I mean, just look at this is just AV. plugged in. And it looks great. And it has nothing to do with the fact that this is like a shitty clone console, a Retron 1. It's just like the perfect size for NES games, which I love. We have this TV, which is actually a Sony branded PlayStation 3 3D TV. I don't know if you know what that is, but essentially it came with 3D glasses and there was these weird polarized lenses in them where only certain games worked with it, but you could do couch co-op without the split screen element. Like one person would see one thing on the TV and the other person would see something else. It was kind of crazy, but only a couple games really utilized it. But that's this TV. My dad bought it back in the day and then he just was like, I don't fucking like this TV, this sucks. So I stole it. And here we just have a couple consoles hooked up like a Wii and a PS2, just so I can record YouTube stuff a little easier if I need to. I haven't exactly utilized it how I'm thinking, except for maybe like one short. But CRTs are kind of hard to record sometimes, so this could come in handy if I'm needing to get gameplay footage. And I like the guerrilla style filming more. I don't really like just, you know, getting emulator footage. It's kind of fucking lame. I do sometimes, but for the most part, I like pointing the camera at the screen to show you, yep, I'm playing on original hardware. You know, we have my little amiibo corner and my World of Nintendo figures. Link and Zelda, little Deku Link, little Big Lebowski, Samus. I don't really collect amiibos anymore, but I used to be really into them, as you can see. I mostly collected all of the Zelda ones I wanted, and that was it. I didn't keep them all in the box, as you can see. Mostly because this is around the time Breath of the Wild was coming out, and I was like, well, I actually want to use them to get the, you know, Pona and the exclusive costumes, so I just busted them out. I was like, this is gonna hurt, but I'm just gonna do it. We have the exclusive Master Chief amiibo. Nobody has this. We also have the Goat Simulator amiibo. Oh, he's supposed to make noise. Me when I spread misinformation on the internet. My game room is kind of devoid of neon RGB crazy lights, but this is the one exception. I really like this Boo that my friend got me for my birthday. But yeah, I don't normally put a bunch of RGB shit, mostly because this is just supposed to be like, yep, I am in this room to play video games. I am not in this room to bake in the atmosphere. This is the game shrine. See what I did there? This is the game room. But yeah, we got this little corner, you know, just some wall art. There's really cool custom wall art that my dad got me. And this is actually really cool. This is like a perler bead art of Majora's Mask. And when I was like 13 years old, I went to my first anime convention where they were selling all sorts of random bullshit. And this was before 3D printing ruined every single convention, where every asshole with a 3D printer is selling like random caterpillars and shit. This was the only thing I bought, and I still have it. What, like 13 years later? Yeah. This is like one of my favorite things in the whole game room. We have these cool Legend of Zelda, you know, wall art things. We have that big Link figure everybody wants. And then this is where I keep all my Xbox games, my original Xbox games. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go over every single fucking game I have, but if there's something I want to showcase, I will do it. For instance, the Playboy game. Essentially, this is like a shitty version of The Sims, but you can have sex. I actually went over a lot of these games in my Xbox collecting video. If you haven't seen that, give it a watch. Shameless plug, I know, but, you know, respect the grind. A little bit of 360 stuff, you know, nothing crazy. I do have a lot of rare 360 games. I mean, a bunch of shit I don't hear anybody talking about, like Knight's Contract. But then I have the obvious stuff like Bullet Witch, Splatterhouse, and Saw. And also Darkest of Days, which I was actually recently playing, which is why it's over here. But yeah, we got stuff like Deadpool, Family Guy, Back to the Multiverse, and all sorts of cool stuff. 360 is definitely one of my favorite consoles to collect for, just because it's way better than the PS3. Hot take, I know. There's just a lot of good shit on it. Then right under my amiibos is my Wii stuff. We got really cool stuff like the Skyward Sword controller bundle. I basically have every good Wii game there is, except for like the rare ones like Pandora's Tower and shit, and Ivy the Kiwi. But I do have, you know, stuff like Sharon the Wanderer, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, The Last Story. Oh, and a copy of Radiant Dawn, even though I'm not really a big Fire Emblem guy. Fun fact, I actually got that for free. I actually got quite a couple of these games for free. Nothing crazy, maybe like 100 in total out of the 3,300 in here. But my in-laws just so happen to have a bunch of games at their house. I was like, yes, I will take them all. Thank you. And in that box of games was stuff like Radiant Dawn, as well as a couple other gems I'll go over when I get to them. When I collect on Wii though, I like to get stuff that like nobody's ever heard of, because there's just so much of it on the Wii that nobody's ever heard of. For instance, have you heard of Marble Mania? Or the sequel, Marble Saga? Or perhaps have you heard of Little King's Story? And you know how I mentioned I would talk about the games I got for free when they come up? Well, yeah, that was also in there. And if you know, you know. But the way I have this set up actually is pretty interesting. You might think it's interesting. I have the good games at the top, and then the progressively shittier they get, the lower they go. Now, don't take this as an objective rating on my part. But, you know, for instance, we have, you know, Mario and Zelda at the top, and then at the bottom we have Go Play Circus Star, I guess. But also my Japanese games. Captain Rainbow. Oh, and Chibi Robo. And the fucking drum game, I forgot what it's called. And a random copy of Mario Strikers Charge. But also, since we're over here, let's talk about this big ass monitor. This is also a Sony Trinitron, and it's a PC monitor that's only VGA out. But I actually got this from my old high school. And the only reason I'm not using it, we'll get to it, but this thing is fucking big. It's fucking wide. It's got some fucking length to it. That's what she said. But it don't fit in that cubby hole. That's also what she said. I need to stop. But this big motherfucker don't fit anywhere. So I basically have to just have it right here for now until I get a bigger space. Included in wall number 2 though is also this big closet. Boxes and Breath of the Wild lunchbox and, you know, this weird old Japanese, what the fuck was that? Okay. And also raining copies of Smash Bros. Brawl from the sky, I guess. That's the Dragon Quest controller box. Pretty cool. This is just some like extra random stuff. These came from the New York, Nintendo New York store. I think they're pretty cool. Here's my Atari. You might be asking, why is your Atari in the closet? Because it's gay. No, because I don't fucking play the Atari. I don't care about the Atari. And if I wanted to play Atari, we just made a video about it. There's the Atari anthology right here. I can play. There's nothing on the Atari that I care that much about that I have to bust this thing out. So, in the closet it goes. Which, you know, is pretty good. I only have to put up one console. You know, most people have to keep a lot of shit in storage, but, you know, I try to have everything on display and usable at any given time. Except for that fucking thing. So, sorry. This is a cool piece of artwork my buddy got me, because Ed, Edd n Eddy is my favorite show. And this is really fucking funny that I want to show you. This will date me a little bit, but Icon has cheeseburger? This is, I don't know if you guys know what this is. Like, obviously, like older people, like my age, would know. But, this is fucking, like, cat pictures with impact font. And, like, they're not funny at all. Napoleon Kitte is expanding to empire. Lol. LOL. Right, guys? So that's funny. I also have had that book for like over a decade. But we have some stuff like Guitar Hero, DDR pad, Shield. But we also have these stupid fucking things. I'm not gonna pull them out. These are the Mischief Big Red Boots. Why do I have these? I really don't know.
And I think I speak for everyone when I ask, what are those?
I did not buy them. I got them as a gift, but why I still have them, I cannot answer that. We also have the Fallout 76 big ass collector's edition that, yes, I spent my own hard-earned money, and I actually got the nylon bag and the canvas bag. I won the fucking class action lawsuit. I got both bags. I'm not gonna pull them out. They're fucking somewhere in there, but that's from there. And was it worth it? I mean, it's in the closet. But yeah, that's basically been like wall 2. We can take a little pit stop and look at the middle section real quick. I ran out of fucking space on all these shelves, and I still am running out of space. I don't have room for everything. So you actually will see later on that I have to do shit like put shit sideways, which I hate. I have to do it right here. Put shit sideways. And some people might be like, oh, Fritter, you're fucking autistic. And I'll say, no, I have OCD. There's a difference. I don't like it when it looks like that. I don't like it. But yeah, speaking of, you know, shit I don't like, you might be also thinking, Fritter, you're bitching about that, but then you got shit looking like that. And to that, I will say, fair point, but counter argument, fuck you. I'm just kidding. I love you. Yes, you. you watching this video. I like you a lot. Before we talk about this though, my investments. Check it. Not 1, not 2, but 20 copies plus 1 copies of Dog Island. I don't think anybody else on YouTube has 21 copies of Dog Island. If they do, they're fucking lying. And I'd like to see proof. If you have 22 copies of Dog Island, please contact me. Please show me. I am begging to see what absolute madman has topped me, but here we go. This is just Wii U and Xbox One, the two consoles I really honestly play the least. Xbox One because I'm a PS4 guy. Wii U because who the fuck plays the Wii U? And before you go, oh me, I played the Wii U. Okay, nobody's impressed, brother. I joke, but the Wii U actually has my favorite game of all time on it. Wind Waker HD. I do think Wind Waker HD is much better than the original, even though I grew up with the original. But I'm willing to not be a fucking, purist to that extent. I like the fast sale. What can I say? There's some PC games down there, some DS games, 3DS games, but I'm not really pulling them out that much. What I mostly use these shelves for is like shit that hasn't been cataloged yet. So here you go. You're getting a quick recent pickups video. Avatar, the game. Call of Duty 2. Grand Theft Auto 5. Call of Duty on the Wii. Call of Cthulhu. A lot of calls. Advent Rising. And I bought this because I really want to win that $1 million. We got Dankum. My copy of Off actually finally came in. The Blue Prince and High on Life 2. And really, the only reason I haven't put these up yet is because I have to put them sideways. I have no room. But yeah, that's the middle shelf. Quick detour. Let's look at this wall. This wall has a couple CRTs on it. Let's look at my PVM, which I got from a buddy. He gave me a very good price on it. But it's mostly here for aesthetics and vibes. I don't really use it. All I have is a Master System hooked up to it. And let's just say my Master System collection is, nothing crazy. But first, let's take a look at PS1 games. Well, there's more than just PS1 in here, but mostly PS1. I really love this copy of Final Fantasy VII, Japanese copy. Really love this Metal Gear Solid. Just the two white cases, they look nice. I have this cool Solid Snake statue. He's like all fucking camoed out. As well as a Crash Bandicoot Skylanders figure I just randomly found. We have cool PS1 games like Resident Evil 2 Woman version. That's a video for another day. The Pizza Hut demo disc, which is really cool. I love that fucking thing. And just a whole bunch of stuff. We got stuff like Skull Monkeys, Bomberman Fantasy Race, Echo Knight. Oh, and The Simpsons Wrestling. But yeah, I love the PS1. Obviously not as much as the PS2, but there's a lot of cool stuff on there. Another hidden gem I don't hear anybody talking about. Trag. It's like anime Resident Evil, and the voice acting is really bad. But it's a good time, it's a good game. Then we go all the way down. We got stuff like Grandia. I love Grandia. Star Ocean, and Azure Dreams. We have a couple Japanese PS1 games, including Biohazard 2, and the Japanese copy of Final Fantasy IV, which was sold separately from the collection. We have Dreamcast down here. Nothing crazy, I'm not really a huge fan of the Dreamcast. I really like this game called Time Stalkers though. And here's my Saturn collection. I do not collect American Saturn games because they're a fucking scam. Instead I buy Japanese games because not only are they super cheap, but a lot of the games I want to play don't require English. Shit like Street Fighter Zero doesn't require any reading. Saturn Bomberman Fight, which is a Japanese exclusive Bomberman fighting game. Clockwork Knight, which does not require any reading. But then we have shit like Magic Knight Rayearth, which definitely does require reading, and I don't really know why I have this. It's expensive as fuck in English though. Then I have a small, modest selection of TurboGrafx games. It's the one collection I really want to expand, but it's really hard to find the games. And you may be thinking, oh, the Bomberman guy might have Bomberman games for the Turbo, the Hudson console, but no, they're fucking hard to find. I can't fucking find them anywhere. Dragon's Curse though, I mean, it's just basically Wonder Boy, but I really love this copy of the game. Then we have a bunch of random PC shit, like Fallout Tactics and Half-Life 1 and Counter-Strike, which leads me to this little nook. I said I'd get to it. I really wanted a classic PC nook, and here we go. It's like a little school desk. I have these like NES styled 8-bit keyboard and mouse. It's a little messy in here because I just kind of throw shit in here. Like I have an Oculus just buried down there. These are really cool. These are comics from Nintendo Power ripped out and framed essentially for Link to the Past. Speaking of Nintendo Power, this is where I keep all my magazines and stuff. You know, I'm not really out here looking at Nintendo Powers very often, but I do like them. I like to collect them. And I'm not going to explain every single random little thing I have in every nook and cranny of the room, because if I did, I'd be here all day. There's a box 32X. I also got that for free from my father-in-law. We have those really weird, shitty Walmart Atari consoles that just plug and play. I got those on clearance and they were like $1. The talking Mario flower. It's actually sitting in my my living room and it just randomly says shit throughout the day. I really like it. We got Chibi Robo. He's locked away in the eternal damnation of hell. That is Ziplash. And we got him. He watches over me. But yeah, there's a bunch of random shit up here, like, you know, books and stuff. I have the Reggie Fils-Aimé book. Have I read it? Kinda. Oh, but here's something really cool. The Babysitting Mama Baby with the diaper. The least insane game collector. Get back there. Jokes aside, it's actually really hard to find a diaper on that thing, which without context, if you're just watching this and you don't collect video games, which one, I don't know why you would, but like saying it's really hard to find the baby doll with the diaper for the game is so stupid. But, you know, some of you will get what I'm talking about. But then we get to move on to this big old piece of furniture, which, yes, was a pain in the fucking ass to get into this room. We have a Genesis, a Dreamcast, a Jungle Green, N64, PS1, GameCube. This is where I keep all my controllers. Super Nintendo, Turbo, NES, a Master System up here. But I also have the power-based converter for the Genesis. So really, this is kind of redundant. This CRT with all these consoles hooked up to it is using one of these switchers, which basically are these manual switchers. They don't require any power. There's that fucking stupid thing. I made a video about that. Go watch. It's a short. Here's my little handheld nook and Sega stuff and a couple other things. So not really a handheld nook. We have a cool portrait of Link up there. I really fucking love this picture. I don't really know like where I got it, but I really love this picture of Link. We have the Zelda 3DS, the other Zelda 3DS, and the other Zelda 3DS. Then we have a couple things like my AGS 101, a few complete in box Game Boy Advance games, including this Melon Journey game, which I actually picked up from Limited Run Retail. And I don't know anything about it, but it was pretty cool. These things are cool though. They display games like perfectly, and they're essentially nail polish holders. If you want some cool ways to show off your Game Boy games, nail polish holders. And I don't have anything crazy on Game Boy other than maybe like Pokemon My Ass Edition. But I have ROM hacks for like Mother 1, 2, and 3 on here. As well as like, you know, a couple Pokemon games that are weirdly expensive now. Kid Icarus, Metal Walker, a Japanese copy of Link's Awakening, and my favorite game on the Game Boy, Bomberman Quest. If you haven't played this game, I mean, it's expensive, but if you haven't played this game, you have to give it a try. It's like Link's Awakening mixed with Bomberman, mixed with, weirdly enough, Shadow of the Colossus. It's like a boss gauntlet game. So just trust me, and give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Also has a killer soundtrack. With the rest of this shelf, though, we have Sega stuff, like my Genesis games. I have a couple, you know, long box things hiding over here, including a PS1 game for some reason. I just didn't know where to put it. We have some Genesis games over there, Master System. I just recently picked up Shining in the Darkness. Speaking of Shining in the Darkness, I wish I had extra lighting in this corner because it's really fucking dark. If that's one thing I could fix about this game room is, you know, the one light that's in here sucks ass, and I'm too lazy to replace it. But yeah, here's my Genesis stuff. I have one 32X game, which is like fucking Star Wars, who cares? Master System, who cares? The main thing I want to show you is one of the best Genesis games ever, Beyond Oasis, and Mega Bomberman, as well as a really underrated one, Might and Magic Gates to Another World. But I'm an RPG guy. That's something probably only I'll like. Here's a couple more games over here. We got WarioWare Twisted, as well as some Game Gear games hiding up here. Telro Boxer and Virtual Boy. I got that from a Second and Charles for $10. And then this is all my shovelware stuff that I don't show. It's like dollar bin games from pawn shops. And then at the bottom here, we have Complete in Box N64 stuff. I have a lot of Complete in Box N64 stuff because it's the console I grew up with and I just really like collecting for it. There's nothing too crazy right there other than a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day, but my really crazy stuff is up there. We have a Commodore 64 that belonged to my grandpa. We have a couple Super Famicom games complete in the box, including Chrono Trigger. And if you squint and look all the way back there, some Atari games. Oh, and a couple, you can't really see them. I don't really want to pull them out, but a couple complete in box NES games. This piece of furniture also came with a giant, oh my god, VHS thing. All right, Finally, we've made it to the main attraction, the big ass final wall. This has NES, Super Nintendo, Switch, N64, GameCube, Famicom, fucking N-Gage of all things, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5, and eventually PlayStation 6. Except not PlayStation 6, because the PlayStation 6 is gonna get rid of physical games and it's not gonna have a disc drive. That's my theory. But that's just a theory. This is where the majority of the 3,300 games are. In fact, right here, in just PlayStation 2 and PS4, is over 1,000 games, because I have roughly 600 something PlayStation 2 games and a little over 400 PlayStation 4 games. So that doesn't even count PS5 and PS3, which I think I have about 200 PS3 games and about 150 PS5 games. I don't remember. But yeah, that's a lot of fucking games just for one wall, which you can tell I'm running out of room on. Like, it's filled to the brim. And this actually isn't all my games right here. I actually have a big stack of like my backlog in my living room, because that's actually where I do the majority of my PS5 gaming. Because this TV is cool and all, but I have a 75-inch in my living room. Where do I start with this wall though? I mean, I guess let's just start at the left. Up here, I got a little bit of Bomberman stuff, like this really cool cigarette tin that this Bomberman Game Boy game came in. There was a couple releases like this, but that's the one I have, including a plushie. Sableye is one of my favorite Pokemon. I have the Mario Game & Watch thing, a couple CIB games. And what you're gonna see is a lot of this stuff is Zelda. I have a Tingle. I have a complete in box Super Nintendo back here, which, funny story about this, I was working at GameStop one day, because of course I was, and some guy tried to trade it in, and at the time we didn't take retro games, so I freaked out, asked my manager, hey, can I buy this shit from this guy in the parking lot? And yeah, he only wanted 80 bucks for that, and he had a couple of games with it too. Wind Waker HD Collector's Edition with the Ganondorf figure, Twilight Princess Collector's Edition with the fucking amiibo. Here's something really cool you don't see every day. Legend of Zelda trading cards. I haven't opened these, and I really want to, but you know, I just haven't. Maybe if I get another pack, I'll open it and make a short out of it or something. The box for the Majora's Mask 3DS. The Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED, which I don't really use anymore because I got the Switch 2. The Zelda Game & Watch thing. The box for the Link Between Worlds 3DS. The Wiimotes. The Link's Awakening Switch, you know, special edition. That's the gold NES World Championship cartridge that they gave out with the Switch game. There's a Majora's Mask complete in box up there. 2 copies of Link to the Past. The big Breath of the Wild bundle. I didn't get the one with the sword because it was literally sold out everywhere, and I wanted to go to the midnight release at GameStop for the Switch and Breath of the Wild, and you couldn't pre-order the one with the Master Sword pedestal in the store. So since I couldn't wait and I wasn't fucking gonna buy 2 copies of the game, I went with this one, which actually came with that I'll put it on the screen here, but it came with the Switch case that I do have somewhere around here, and I really like that. There's a complete in box copy of Ocarina of Time and a Japanese complete in box copy. These are pretty cool because they're the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Walmart exclusive figures that you got when you bought this little bundle or whatever. The Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition. There's just a random NES manual. Ocarina of Time Collector's Edition complete in box, as well as the Link Figma figure. I've never opened it. There's a random SNES Mini just hiding up there. There's a copy of Smash Bros complete in box. I don't really know why I put that up there other than the fact that I just love that game. And we have a NES Classic. This NES cartridge, you might be wondering what it is, and it's actually a Father's Day present that somebody got me, and it has my name and my whole family's name on it, so that's why I have it turned around. But believe me when I say it's very cool. I have a Japanese copy of Wind Waker, and this is very cool. My friend actually picked this up for me off of Whatnot because he knew I would like it, and he's right, I really do. It's a guidebook for the original Legend of Zelda, in Japanese, of course. Going back over here, I have a really big PS4 collection. I mean, I'm not gonna go over too much. I have a bunch of limited run stuff. Like, if you wanna just take a look at like what I got, just like pause the video and, zoom in, do some CSI enhanced image shenanigans. Because ultimately, I went over a lot of this stuff that I have in the World of Secret Physical Games video. I'm just plugging every video I have at this point. I keep the shitty games down here because I'm not gonna play them. And you might be going, whoa, Nobunaga's Ambition Taishi is not shitty. Yes, it is. It's bad. It's fucking boring. This is really fucking stupid game. If you know, you know. Apparently there was only 200 copies, but also that's probably a lie. And also it's like the most crafted FOMO story ever. Like the game got copywritten. Not only is there only 200 copies of the game, even though Sony doesn't even allow you to just make 200 copies of a game as a publisher, but also the developer mysteriously, had their game taken off of the store for copyright purposes. And it's like, all right, it got taken off of the digital store. There's only 200 copies of it. It's like the perfect storm for like the rarest game ever. But I don't believe it. I think it's a publicity stunt. So don't believe the hype. We have some PSP games down here, a couple PS Vita games. I don't really use these too much because a lot of the games I play on PSP and PS Vita are just downloaded on my systems. We have a pretty significant PS5 selection, and like I said before, I have a big backlog of like games in my living room that I don't have here, obviously. I actually did get a copy of a limited rare game. So, if you watch the Secret Games video, I was like, I don't even fucking have any limited rare games because they're shitty. Yeah, this was at my local game store for like $40. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll buy it for $40. You can't go wrong. And I have played it quite a bit just because it's like so fucking stupid. It's like a party trick. Like when people come over, I'm like, hey, you want to see this really shitty game called Megaton? And they're like, wow, this game sucks ass. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've actually played Megaton more than my fucking copy of PS5 Glover. We also have Potato Sack Racing Simulator 2024 Physical Mega Chad Edition. If you don't know anything about Kimulator's films, go to developer. They actually commented on my Modern vs. Retro video that I uploaded like a couple weeks ago. They commented on it and I pinned their comment just because I mentioned the game. I didn't even mention it. I just showed footage of the game on my PS5 screen because I played it recently. So hopefully they come out with more physical versions. We shall see. PS5 has a lot of games that are like really like hit or miss rare. For instance, if you collect PS5 games, you probably know what this game is based on price charting. Yeah, I got it for $20, and I think you could still buy it brand new. But on price charting, it's like $100 something. So I don't know what that's about. That's PS5 though. My one true love is definitely PlayStation 2 with over 600 games. I think the PlayStation 2 is the best console to collect for. There's literally everything. There is so much shit on PS2. You will literally never be bored. If you only collected PS2 games your entire game collector career, you would not run out of shit to be excited about. It is so good. There's like almost 2,000 fucking games just in NTSC regions. Well, NTSCU, not NTSCJ. I think NTSCJ has like up to 4,000 games. Like it's fucking crazy. Like there's so many games for the PS2. You will not go bored. Speaking of which, with that being said, here's some rare games like Samurai Western, Tulip, which was made by the people who made Chibi Robo, Steambot Chronicles, very good game if you haven't played it. Robot Alchemic Drive. I gotta tell you, that game has the funniest voice acting I've ever witnessed. Some hidden gems I don't hear anybody talking about. I might actually make a PS2 hidden gems video because I just know ball. I know so much ball about the PS2. It's crazy. This game though, Total Overdose. If you know, you know. It's fucking crazy. My favorite PS2 game of all time, besides Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter is a fucking one of my favorite games ever. But this, Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast, if you haven't played it, you're missing out. It's really fucking good. I love Kingsfield 4. Such a great game. We have my moneymaker right here. And then next to my other dog-themed game, Dog's Life, where you can piss and shit as a dog. Riveting stuff, I know. And right next to it, Flipnik Ultimate Pinball. This is a really, really underrated pinball game. If you like pinball, it's cool. It's so aesthetically pleasing. You'll just have to check it out. I could literally just pull out PS2 games all fucking day and be like, this game is fucking good. Like for instance, something I don't hear anybody ever talking about, Under the Skin, made by Capcom, and you can actually play as Resident Evil characters in this game. Look, it's Nemesis and Jill. It's the master of unlocking. If you ask me what the game's about, I don't really know. You like take over people's bodies and you try to hide and then you try to kill people. I don't know. This is kind of funny. This game has no fucking label. I don't know if that's a print error or what, but it's City Crisis. Chaos Wars is another game with really fucking funny voice acting because it's so bad. And I think I should address something that is probably gonna fucking annoy somebody. Probably a lot of people, actually. You'll notice that these are just placed on the shelf, no rhyme or reason. I don't alphabetize my games, and here's why. I buy so many fucking games. If I were to put, like I put dot hack right here, right? But if I were to continue that and put A's, let's say I buy another A game. Well, this is filled up. To keep it alphabetically cohesive, I would have to take a game out of here, put the new game in, take a game out of here, put this game right there, you know, at the very end, and then I would have to take this one here and then put it here, and it would literally take fucking like hours just to put one game in the A section. So no, I'm not gonna fucking alphabetize my shit. That is like not feasible at this point. Once you've gone end game like this, it doesn't work. You can't alphabetize everything. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like, yes, the fuck you can. But it's probably like a guy with his entire fucking room, just a one giant shelf. And it's just, you know, he has infinite room. His whole basement is the fucking game room. So I guess once I get to that point, like ultra end game, then yes, I will alphabetize my shit. But for right now, you're gonna have to deal with it. Sorry about that tangent, but Urban Chaos Riot Response, you should check it out. Really good first person shooter. I don't hear anybody talking about it. There's also Shadow of Rome. I really like this game. It's made by Capcom, and it's actually kind of a pseudo test run for Dead Rising. It's made by the same creator, and you know, it plays kind of similarly to Dead Rising, but like gladiators and shit. We have this cool Mark Echoes Getting Up, big ass limited edition. You know, I don't really know what this comes with, just a bunch of shit, but the game itself is really good if you haven't tried it. It's essentially like a spray painting game, like you tag your fucking turf, but it's more to that. There's like a story and it's really good, and trust me, we got a lot of PS3 shit down there, and honestly I don't feel like getting on the floor, so you know, I guess maybe like 3D Dot Game Heroes. That's a really good one. Everybody knows about that game though. We also have that like expensive Captain America game for some reason. Somewhere on here we have the fucking expensive Spider-Man games. They're at the top of my app in terms of value, and I'm like, why is that Spider-Man game $100? Who knows? Lucha Libre. Here's my NES games. You know, I don't have anything crazy, other than maybe like Might and Magic, one of my favorite NES games. If you know, you know. It's like a dungeon crawler, first person, like classic PC kind of dungeon crawler game. I have all the Dragon Warriors. The other one was like playing on that TV over there, but I'm missing 4. I need Dragon Warrior 4. I also have Final Fantasy 1, one of my favorite NES games. One NES game I'm really looking for is Bomberman 2. So if you have that and want to send it to me for free and I will scam you, please do. I'm just kidding. Super Nintendo, my first thing I started collecting. Turtles in Time, Contra 3, and my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time, Super Castlevania 4. We have some rare stuff like Earthbound and Evo. There's also a copy of Chrono Trigger somewhere. Oh, here we go. Chrono Trigger, Kirby Superstar, Ys 3, Lufia, you know, just a lot of good stuff. Super Bomberman, a classic. Super Mario RPG, Addams Family Values, hidden gem. Secret of Evermore, also a hidden gem. People write this game off, but it's actually really good. This is kind of interesting. Buck and the Cursed Cartridge. This is a Game Boy Color game featuring the GameStop bunny. Kind of neat. Then there's a bunch of Super Famicom stuff, including Super Bomberman 2, Super Bomberman 4, Super Bomberman 3, and Mickey Mouse. But some games I wish I had in English, like Bahamut Lagoon. And these are my repro cartridges, like BS Zelda, and, you know, Shin Megami Tensei If, Secret of Mana 2, Sailor Moon game, Dragon Quest 3, Zelda Parallel Worlds, just shit that, like, you can't get on an official cartridge, so. And Switch, I mean, I don't even know where to start with this. A bunch of fucking Switch games. Like I said, I'm not gonna go through all these, because, you know, maybe I'll make a video on the Switch one day, collecting for the Switch, but I'm not the biggest Switch collector, and I don't really seek Switch games out. PS4 and PS5 are what I buy my multi-platform games on, so, you know, Switch kind of gets left to the side a little bit, but I still have a pretty sizable collection. The stuff I like on Switch are exclusive games like Cave Story Plus. And of course, we can't have a game collecting video without mentioning more dog games. Little Friends Dogs and Cats and Little Friends Puppy Island. Here's my N64 stuff. I do have a, quite a good N64 collection with a lot of heavy hitters, including a couple cool repros like The Missing Link and GoldenEye, except all of the characters are Mario characters. And yes, I even have this piece of shit, the Nokia N-Gage. And yes, I have the exclusive Bomberman game for the N-Gage. And I am the only person I know with an N-Gage. And I never fucking use it because it kind of sucks. We also have some Famicom games like, what's this? I don't know. Oh yeah, Sun. I know that. Dragon Quest 2, that's pretty cool. Oh, and Load Runner. This game is cool because actually the sprites for the enemies are Bomberman. And then we have GameCube stuff. We're getting to the end, don't worry. Chibi Robo, which is a fucking really good game, and this is actually my childhood copy. It's really expensive now for some dumbass reason. Eternal Darkness and Geist, some of the only rated M Nintendo games. And then down here I have a bunch of like Switch big box collector editions, like the World Championships, the Prinny 1 and 2. I think this is Akiba's Trip. Let me see. Yeah. Story of Seasons, Crystal Crisis. There's not really any other good places to put those, so that's why they go there. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's everything I want to show you. But yeah, let me know, what did you think? Is it as cool as I hyped it up to be? I didn't really hype it up, but how did you like this, non-scripted, just off-the-cuff commentary? I'm basically just walking around in my game room with a camera, talking, not really following any kind of coherent plot or script or layout or anything. What do you think? Do you think my game room's cool? Because that's really all that matters. Let me know. Oh, also let me know, what kind of new videos do you want to see? I have a bunch of scripted videos in the works, but sometimes it's good to hear from you guys and know like what you want to see specifically from me. Like I said, I have a lot of videos in the works and written out and scripted and being filmed currently, but it's always good to have suggestions. Once again, I'm Fritter, host of Fritters Game Shrine. I would make a joke about like, well, it's a shrine because I worship the games, but no, I'm not that corny. Game Shrine sounds cool. That's why the channel's called that. I'm being real, like, casual with this whole YouTube thing. I love making videos, and you guys like watching them. I've had a lot of growth within just the past month, and I'm very grateful for it, and I'm very appreciative of how much support I've been getting with just the last 4 videos I've made. I mean, I've only made 4 long-form content videos, and you guys seem to really like them. I put a lot of effort into them, so I appreciate it. And hopefully this isn't the first 1,000 subscribers I get. In fact, as of the time of recording this video, I'm already a quarter of the way to another 1,000. We're at like 1,300 almost. So thank you so much. You're literally making my dream come true. I've been wanting to be a YouTuber for my entire life, basically. And actually having people watch your videos is the coolest part. So thank you so much. Hopefully you like this video. The next video will be scripted, edited, and like one of my typical videos. So thank you so much. This has been my game room. I'll make another one maybe next year, update video, but yeah.
I'ma keep it real. If you give me all your heart, keep it vacuum sealed.